The station did not wake up slowly. It woke up screaming. A single alarm tone cut through every deck. Screens flashed the same words in 3 languages. Royal children missing. Locked down now. Queen Sorin of Vera ran across the royal corridor. She did not stop for her crown. She did not stop for protocol. Her daughters were gone, and the station felt suddenly too small. The nursery door was sealed. The lock light was green as if nothing was wrong. "Open it," Sorin said. The guard. Captain scanned the panel. "It never opened, Your Majesty. No breach, no unlock cycle." Sorin shoved inside. Warm air. Clean sheets. 2 small nests sat empty. "Show me the camera," she said. The screen played the last hour. The nurse had sung. The princess's small dragon-blooded heirs with soft scales had curled together and fallen asleep. Perfect blank frame, like time was cut out. After the blank, the nests were empty. Sorin's jaw tightened. "Search everything." Scanners swept vents and walls for heat and scent. The answer stayed the same. Nothing. No trail, no signal. Like the children had turned to smoke, Commander Hale arrived with human security. He tried to sound calm. "Your Majesty, the station is sealed. No ship can launch." "They are still here," Sorin said. "Find them." A control room analyst lifted a shaking hand. "We found one signal," she said. A map appeared. One door pulsed red. Quarters 1 to be human housing. Occupant. Elias Wren. Maintenance. The Queen's guards hissed. Human officers stiffened. Hale spoke. "Quickly. Elias fixes filters and power lines. He has no clearance near you." Sorin stared at the red pulse. "And yet my daughters are there. Let us talk first," Helly said. Sorin's voice dropped. "Break the door." Small charge. Popped. Dust and heat rolled out as the door bent inward. The room was small and cluttered, and on the bed, under one thin blanket, the princesses slept. They were curled close, tails looped together. One held a faded human shirt in her claws. The other pressed her cheek into the pillow, breathing slow. It's like she belonged. Elias Wren stood near the sink, hands raised, face pale. "I didn't take them," he said. "I swear." Sorin stepped closer, slow now. Relief hit first. Then anger followed right behind it. "Wake them," she ordered. A guard reached toward the nearest princess. Her eyes opened instantly amber and bright. She made a low warning sound. It was not loud, but it felt heavy in the chest. The guard stopped. The second princess shifted and pulled the human shirt closer. She did not look at her mother. Her claws tightened like the human was the safest thing in the room. Sorin swallowed. "Daughters," she said. The first princess looked at the queen, then at Elias, and whispered one word, "Safe." The corridor went silent. Hale's gaze locked on Elias. "Why are they here?" Elias swallowed hard. "I heard scratching in my vent. I opened it and saw them shaking. I gave them water. I gave them the blanket. They fell asleep."
Yes.
All. A station tech lifted a scanner and frowned.
"Your Majesty."
The room reads a low hum, like a signal. The lights flickered once, then twice. Sorin felt a vibration in her scales. The wall beside the bed shimmered, and a faint symbol appeared through the paint-curved lines like wings around a dark circle. A dragon mark. Elias stared at it. "I've never seen that," he whispered. From deep inside the station, a new tone began slow, heavy, wrong. Not the station alarm. Something older. Sorin raised her hand. "Everyone out," she ordered. "Now, but before anyone moved." The door behind them clicked, locked, and the lights went completely out. In the dark, someone's breath sounded too loud. Emergency strips tried to glow, then died as well. Soft heat rose from the bed, like embers under ash. The princess's scales began to shine, not with fear, but with recognition. Somewhere above, in the ceiling vents, metal scratched slow, careful, coming closer. Then a voice whispered through the intercom, calm and amused. "Thank you for gathering in one room." Queen Sorin lifted her blade. but saw nothing. Asterisk, the darkness did not feel normal. It felt controlled. Queen Soren stood between the bed and the locked door, blade raised, listening. The intercom had spoken, and then it went silent again. Like, the station itself was holding its breath. Commander Hale tried his wrist light. It flashed once and died. No power, he muttered. That's not possible. Backup lines should kick in. Leas Wren did not move, kept his hands visible. But his eyes were on the princesses. Their scales glowed faintly now, like tiny stars under skin. The first princess sat up. Her gaze was sharp, too awake for someone who had been sleeping.
What?
The second princess stayed curled around the human shirt, but her tail twitched like she was. Listening to something far away, Soren lowered her voice. Daughters, come to me. The first princess looked at her mother, then at Elias, and then shook her head small. Stubborn no, she whispered. The word hit harder than a slap. Guards tensed. Hale's men tensed back. Soren swallowed her rage and forced it into calm. Why? The first princess lifted her claw and touched the air. It was a simple motion. But the glow around her scales pulsed, and the room warmed by a few degrees. Hungry, she said. Elias blinked. Hungry? A soft sound came from the vent above, a slow scrape, like something testing the metal. Hale stepped to the door and hit the emergency release. Nothing. He slammed his fist on it once. Control, open 1 to B now. Ch, he shouted into his comm. No reply. Then the intercom crackled again. The same calm voice returned. Do not waste your strength, Commander. The door listens only to me. Soren's blade angled upward. Show yourself. A faint laugh. Soon. The vent scratched again. This time the metal bent inward by a finger's width. Thin shadow shifted behind it. Hale raised his sidearm, aiming at the ceiling. Move and I fire. Leah stepped forward before thinking. Don't, he hissed. If you shoot the ricochet the first princess made. A sharp sound and Hale's gun hand froze. Not by fear, by force. His wrist locked in place like invisible chains held it. Hale's eyes widened. What the princess's glowing scales dimmed slightly, as if she had spent energy. She stared at Hale with a warning look that said, not here. Soren stared at her daughter, stunned. Dragon blood powers this strong at this age were not normal. The vent finally popped open. Something small dropped from above, landing without a sound. Not a person. Not a drone. A black sphere the size of a fist. With a single red eye in the center, a spy drone. Its eye flicked from Soren to Hale to Eliasan then. To the princesses. The drone spoke with the same calm voice, now coming from its speaker. ... Airs are located. Good. Soren lunged forward. The drone rolled back, too fast. Hale fired out of instinct. The shot should have hit, but the first princess lifted her claw again. The bullet stopped in midair, hanging like a frozen bead of metal. It trembled, then fell to the floor with a soft tap. Everyone stared. Elias breathed. Oh. The drone's red eye widened slightly like it was learning. Interesting. The bond has begun. Bond, Soren snapped. Explain. The drone did not answer. Instead, it turned its eye toward Elias. A tiny barrel shifted outward. Hale saw it and shouted, down. The drone fired. The shot was not loud. It was a sharp hiss. It's like air cutting glass. Elias did not move fast enough. The second princess moved first. She sprang from the bed. Small body a blur and slammed into Ilias's chest. At the same moment, her scales flared bright white. A thin shield formed around them, like clear curved armor. The shot hit the shield and burst into sparks. Elias hit the floor hard. The princess on top of him, shaking. For 1 second, Soren saw her daughter's face close to the human's neck, eyes wide not with fear, but with fierce protectiveness. The queen's heart tightened. The drone backed away toward the vent. Guardian confirmed, it said. So, RYN threw her blade. The blade spun through the air and struck the drone's shell. The red eye flickered. The drone wobbled, trying to rise. Hale rushed forward and stomped it into the floor. The drone's shell cracked. A thin blue smoke hissed out and the red eye turned dim. Then the drone's speaker released one last message, slow and clear. "Return the heirs, or watch them burn." The room shook lightly, as if the station answered that threat. The door unlocked with a click. Lights returned in a weak flicker. Emergency strips glowed red. Hale grabbed his comm control. "We're out." Locked down the human block. Now Soren stepped toward the princesses. The second one still clung to Ilias's shirt, trembling. Soren lowered her blade hand. "Daughters," she said softly, "come with me. I can protect you." The first princess looked at her mother and then glanced at Elias. Like she was choosing, she reached out and placed her small claw on the human sleeve. Then she looked up at Queen Soren and said, very quietly, "He stays." Behind them, the dragon mark on the wall pulsed once like a heartbeat, and far away. Deep in the station's lower decks, something answered with a low, waking hum. The message still burned in the air like smoke. "Return the heirs, or watch them burn." Queen Soren stood inside a sealed medical suite, blade low but ready. Outside, the glass wall, guards and human security stared each other down. Beside her, two daughters slept on a couch, curled around a human jacket as if it was a nest. Elias Wren sat on the floor beside them, barely breathing. "They chose your room," Soren said. "And they chose you." Elias swallowed. "I didn't choose anything. I found them in my vent. They were shaking. I gave them water and a blanket. Then they stopped being scared." Commander Hale stepped closer. "Your Majesty, people already blame humans." "I blame facts," Soren snapped. "Find me facts." A tech rolled a portable scanner to the couch. "There is a low signal." "In the walls," she said. A steady hum. "Not station code." The doctor added, "It acts like a nursery tone. Hatchlings relax when they hear it." Soren's eyes narrowed. That hum came from his room. The tech nodded. Strongest source was quarter 1 to B. Advisor Varric entered calm as ice. "Then we have our answer," he said. "A human lured them." Elias shook his head. "No, I don't even play music." Hale lifted a hand. "Search him." Two guards took one step. The first princess opened her eyes. Her small scales brightened. Air pressed down like a heavy weight. The guards froze mid-step. Boots stuck to the floor. Soren lifted her palm. "Enough. No one touches him." The pressure eased, but the princess kept staring until the guards backed away. Then she rested her claw on Elias's sleeve. A simple claim. Hell whispered, "She's protecting him." "Oh." Soren turned to the human. "Elias, what did you have in that room? A tool," he said. "A tone puck. It hums, so I can find loose panels." Soren reached into his pocket herself and pulled out a scratched metal disc. When she pressed the button, it made a gentle hum, steady, warm, wrong in a way she could not name. Both princesses shifted at once. Their bodies softened. Their breathing slowed. The tech stared at her screen. "That's the frequency." "Exact match." Varric's voice sharpened. "Convenient. It's just a tool," Elia said fast. "I bought it cheap on the market." "Doc. Second-hand." Soren turned the disc in her claws. "Cheap. Second-hand. Perfect. A trap could wear the shape of kindness." "Truth scan." Soren ordered. The doctor placed a slim reader on Elias's wrist. Lights ran across his skin. The screen showed fear, confusion, and one clear line. Protective intent. Deceit spike. Soren leaned in. "You are telling the truth." Elias let out a shaky breath. "I just didn't want them hurt." A second. Princess stirred and murmured in her sleep. One word, broken but clear. "Eclipse." Soren went still. Hale frowned. "What did she say, Eclipse?" Soren repeated. That word did not belong in nursery songs. It belonged in sealed war files. In places the public was not meant to know. The first princess sat up and sniffed the air like she could smell a secret. her gaze locked on the ceiling vent. Tap, 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 tap. A coded rhythm. The princess's eyes widened. Eclipse, she said again, awake now. Then she dragged her claw across the wall. Light bled from her nails, drawing lines. That stayed glowing. A circle, a corridor, and a door marked with a dark crescent. The tech whispered, "That's Deck 0. Hallie stared. "Deck 0 isn't on public maps," Vark spoke quickly. "Then someone is guiding them." "Guiding you?" "No." The intercom clicked on. The calm voice returned, closer than before. "Yes," it said. "I'd bring the heirs to Eclipse. Bring the Guardian too." The suite door unlocked with a clean click. At the same moment, the hall lights outside flashed red. A new alert screamed across the station. "Unauthorized royal access nursery breach again." Elias looked at Soren, terrified. "They're doing it again." Soren's daughters clung to him as if pulled by instinct. Soren felt the station tilt toward war and down the corridor. Heavy boots began to pound toward the suite fast many. And getting closer, asterisk boots thundered down the hallway, fast and heavy. Queen Soren kept her blade low but ready. Commander Hale pulled Elias back, but the princesses clung to the human at once, small claws locked into his sleeve. Their scales gave off a weak glow, like they could taste danger. The intercom crackled. "Royal security team, stand down." A voice ordered. Soren recognized the captain's rhythm. It sounded too clean, like a recording. Hay leaned close to the glass wall. "That's not our channel," he whispered. "Someone is faking comms." The pounding grew louder. "High advisor." Varric stepped forward, calm as ice. "Your Majesty, allow me," he said. "Separate the pieces. Detain the human. Secure the heirs. Control the risk." Soren did not turn. Control is not safety. The suite doors slid open by itself. 3 guards rushed in, wearing royal armor, visors down. The lead guard raised a stun rod and pointed it at Elias. "By order of the Queen," he said, "the human is detained." Soren's voice dropped. "No such order." The guard advanced anyway. Hola lifted his weapon.
"Drop it."
The guard swung the rod. The second princess jumped, landing between Elias and the strike. Her scales flashed white. A thin shield formed for a heartbeat, and the rod sparked against it. The force tossed the princess back onto the couch. Soren's anger snapped. She moved in 1 step and put her blade at the lead guard's throat. "Visor up." The guard hesitated. Hale fired a warning shot into the floor. Now the visor lifted. It was not a royal guard. It was a thin alien in stolen armor, eyes wide with fear. The other 2 guards shifted the same way. Actors, not soldiers. "A frame job," the first princess hissed. The air slammed down like sudden weight. All 3 infiltrators dropped to their knees, breath crushed. Soren stared at them, then at Varric. "How did they get armor?" Varric spread his hands. "Stolen. Copied. This is why I warned you." But the first princess was not looking at the infiltrators anymore. Her gaze locked on Varric's belt. A small round device clipped there, black with a tiny red light. Soren felt cold under her scales. "Varric," he forced a smile. "A security relay, Your Majesty." The princess lifted her claw and touched the air. The device blinked twice. Then it spoke in the calm voice from before. "Proceed to Eclipse." Hale's face hardened. "That's the voice?" Varric ripped the device off his belt and crushed it, but alarms instantly changed tone. Across the deck, doors slammed shut, one after another, forming a trap corridor. Soren grabbed Elias's wrist. "We move now." Elay pointed left. "Maintenance access is close. Service tunnels can bypass lockdown." They ran out. The princesses stayed pressed to Elias as if he was their center. Red lights flashed. Smoke drifted from ceiling vents. Above them, a drone dropped down, scanning. "Heirs located," it droned, hailed through a smoke puck. White fog burst out, blinding the drone. For a moment, Elias used that second to yank open a maintenance panel. "This way," he said. I know these tunnels. They slipped inside. The tunnel was narrow and hot, full of wires and rushing air. Behind them, boots hammered closer, harsh buzzing. Started cutters biting the panel. They'll breach fast, Hale said. Soren glanced at Elias's tone puck. That hum, she said. Use it. Elias pressed the button. The warm frequency filled the tunnel like a soft lullaby. Both princesses lifted their heads. Their scales brightened, and the metal around them vibrated. As if the station recognized the sound, a seam appeared in the tunnel wall, an outline of a door that had not been there. Soren's eyes widened. Deck 0. The seam opened with a slow sigh. Cold air spilled out, carrying a scent like old fire. On the far wall, dragon mark waited, carved deep into black metal. A line of ancient code lit up and translated itself on Hale's visor. Eclipse vault. Sequence 1, heirs confirmed. Sequence 2, guardian trial pending. The cutters screamed behind them. Behind her, the door began closing in a silent countdown. Appeared, Soren stepped through the door, and the vault began to wake.